Hey guys, welcome back to Raptor. This is actually getting wrapped up now, and I'm very near the completion of it. I actually built some stuff off camera by accident. I forgot to press record. Sometimes I build things very late at night time when I'm feeling like I have some inspiration, and I'll just sometimes forget to click that record button. So later on in this video, you'll see glimpses of the Valraven station that I built and the queue line. I did forget to record it, so you won't be able to see how I did that. But it's just a small detail to the kind of Raptor area. It's not a major feature of this whole kind of midway scenario that I'm building here. But right now I'm just going in and doing the sky ride, and again, like I said way back in the beginning, this is not something I ever planned on doing. I just wanted to do the coaster itself, just the Raptor, and I ended up kind of doing more and more and more and more as I went along. So here I am now and doing the sky ride, which goes across the midway, and I'm just going to try and make all the little cars and put some lights in them, so when it goes into night mode, I'm just copying and pasting now the kind of main support tower that I've built around the midway, and I'm just going to use these thick beams as the cables. And again, I will do the station for the sky ride at the other end, which I don't do in today's episode, but I think there'll only be maybe one more episode after this one, and then it's complete, and then I'm going to put this scenario completely on the Steam Workshop for you to download and have a look around yourself. I just got a few things to do, like little details, like adding some fences to the areas around where Raptor gets quite low to the ground, that kind of thing. So right now I'm going to do the little carriages for the cable car, and I'm just using just some poles in different beams and some smaller walls here, and then I'm just going to do it in red to begin with, and then I'm going to put them all down, and once they're in a nice position on the cables, then I shall go back in with the colouring brush and change some of the colours to make them green, yellow and purple. I actually put some of these on the wrong way around, and I have to go back in and change the way that they are positioned on the cable, because the bit that sticks out needs to go on the outside, and I did some of them with the bit on the inside, unfortunately, but I'll do that off camera, the little changes, but that's just a small mistake that I made. And also, as you can tell, I'm actually working on a different plot of land now. I saved the previous sandbox that I was in. I saved the whole area into 2 blueprints, and then I measured out, well, I actually counted how many squares wide and long it was, and then I made a scenario using those measurements to make the smaller land, and then I've put the 2 blueprints down exactly onto that space, so there's not really any extra land that I'm not using around it, so it really is just what you see in this space. So that's why all the paths go right up to the edge there, and I think it looks much better. Like, it definitely is like more intimate, and I really like how the idea of putting it onto a smaller land. So sometimes with the isometric view I get confused, and as you can see there, I actually had a few of the cable cars kind of floating in space and not actually connected to anything. I often do that actually, and I just don't realise until I finish building it, and then I realise it's not actually where I wanted it. So this water kind of area here, after looking on Google and seeing what it actually is, it's more of like a children's play area. So I'm just going to change that and make it look more like the real thing, with adding the path kind of artwork, the textures, and all the different seating areas and lamps that go around this. So I'm just going to do that. Using a reference photo that I found from Google, like I said. So I'll just let you watch me do that, and then I'll be back to talk to you more about what's going on. Bye.
I've always known things about myself. I've just chosen to not recognize them, and
So the next little space along the midway is this part underneath one of the skyride supports. This is like just like a walk-through kind of bit with like a few trees. On one end there is like I think it's an ice cream stall or something. I couldn't quite figure out what it was, but I actually managed to go on the street view on Cedar Point and have a look around and see actually what was going on. So this is another one of the little things that is along the midway. There's 3 or 4 of these along this section. So I have another one to do next to this one, which is more kind of gardens. But the borders from the Shy Guys set are really perfect for doing these kind of oval long shaped areas. This is the next little oval shaped area, and this is just like a flower bed, a really large flower bed with different kind of swirly patterns. So I'm just going to figure out how to do that with different size curves and stuff. It's not exactly perfect compared to the real one because it is a lot more intricate, but I'm going to try my best and use the coloured flowers, etc., to try and make it as best as the real thing. So next up is this little ice cream stall. So I'm just using the picture that I found from Google, and I'm just going to try and imitate it as best I can. And this one had quite a lot of little tricky angles and shapes in it actually for such a small building. But I managed it, I got there in the end. So I'll just let you watch me build this little building. And this one's actually one of my favourites at night time. I think it looks really cute with the tree behind it, with the lights that I put on it. But yeah, I'll let you watch it and I'll come back to you after I've done that as well. So for the rest of this episode, I'm just going to concentrate a little bit more on the blue streak area. Some changes need to be done in the backstage area just to kind of make the shapes fit a bit better compared to the real thing. And I'm just going to go in and do the Mean Streak station. This one actually wasn't too difficult because it's quite a simple shape and it's got some simple features and elements on it. But again, it was like a fun little one to do actually. And sometimes the simple ones are the good ones. So I really enjoyed building this station for Mean Streak. Did I say Mean Streak? I meant Blue Streak. So I'm just going to go in and do that and then add some kind of path work around it, do the queue line, etc. and kind of tie it in. As you can see there just on the right, there's the Valraven gift shop. And I'm just going to tie that in a bit better, add some tree work, etc. and build the little chain lift house that's at the bottom of the lift. And this was again something I didn't plan on doing. I didn't want to do Blue Streak at all, but as it's kind of in the area now, and now that I've gone in and done more than I wanted to in the beginning, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of go for it with this one and try and make this just match as good as it can and give it as much realism compared to the Raptor recreation that I've done, just to make the whole area really seem like it's a 100% kind of recreation of the real thing. So now I'm going to stop talking and let you just watch until the end of the video's through. I'll add some screenshots in for what I've done in today's episode. I've done quite a bit, I think, lots of little details here and there. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have any comments, just leave them down below and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can. But thank you for watching, and until next time. Bye.
I've loved you for a very long time.
You're very fond of trees.
Well, we couldn't survive without trees because we all originate from trees. Trees are our ancestors.
Yeah.
Yes.